Listen, when Viltrumites do what they need to do, it's kind of cool. Not gonna lie. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka GeekXX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to Invincible. We're on season 2, episode 7, which is called I'm Not Going Anywhere. So the last episode, we had quite a bit go down. I feel like there was quite a few different areas we touched on, but the short of it is that the Guardians had their reunion back on Earth, and that's where the Guardian space team found out about the losses that were taken on the ground. And we saw that what's his name? The Immortal is struggling with this loss quite a bit. And then he's realizing he might need to take some time away from the team. And then also we're noticing that Mark and Amber are having some issues. The fact that Mark has been away so frequently, especially so recently, they're both starting to realize that this whole thing is a lot harder than they anticipated, and they're not exactly sure what the next step should be. So they were talking to other people about it, but they didn't seem to manage to talk to each other. So that might be on ice for now while they try to figure that out, or maybe forever. We'll have to see. And then we also saw a little bit of Nolan. He is in fact still alive, and he is healing up in a Viltrumite prison. The Viltrumites are trying to recruit him to come back to the cause, but so far Nolan is giving them nothing. But we hear that they have plans on going after Earth because they feel like it's the reason why Nolan is acting this way, and Nolan seems quite frustrated about that. And then we ended the episode with the return of Mr. Levy. We have not seen him since episode 2, I believe, so he's back. I don't know what he's been doing, but his big brain self is now wandering through all these different dimensions, and he says he's back home now. But considering he's now the amalgamation of all the Levys, I'm not sure what home that is, so we'll have to see. So I'm ready to get into this episode and see where our saga is taking us next. But just before I do, a reminder that if you'd like to be notified of when I do uploads to this show or anything else you're checking out of mine, please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell and show some love to this video if you're feeling it. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right now.
Before Grom.
Grom and not Grodd. I see what you did there.
Is that really what I look like?
Aww.
If you think that's weird.
Oh, you fanboys, you finally made it.
Look out, Eagle! Weird!
I feel like they should do the intro from now on. I don't know if I could go to a con where people were cosplaying as me if I was a hero. That's kind of weird.
Ooh, I've been looking for those hardcovers.
You can't buy everything, Mark Grayson.
Yes, he can.
Watch me!
Exactly, yes, he can. Pretty sure he's getting compensated by being a Guardian. Plus his dad was rich as hell.
I just meant that it's just kind of more my thing. We don't get a lot of time together, so I want to make sure we're also doing stuff that you like.
Thoughtful. We
I'll
appreciate
let you know
it.
when I'm not having a good time.
Okay, sorry.
It's fine. Let's just be together.
Yeah, can y'all just have that conversation you need to have?
You said the fact that we're together is what matters, right?
He loves that seance dog. He loves that seance dog.
Sorry, animation takes a long time.
Okay, I get that very meta message. Thank you very much, show.
We cut corners in other places to make it manageable. You ever notice that sometimes whoever's speaking has their mouth off camera so you never see their lips moving?
I see what you're doing there, show.
Yeah, or we'll cut to the back of someone's head while they're talking for the same reason.
Thank you for all these animation tips and tricks.
Sometimes the artists get carried away and it kind of looks like a different show. It's crazy what you can get away
Not them
with.
going on social media and finding out all the different complaints and critiques people have.
I don't know. I thought Artist Alley looked cool.
I love the Artist Alley. That's where I always hit in cons. A lot of my posters back there from that.
Go. We'll catch up later.
Thanks for holding on to that stuff for me. You're the best. I love you so much. Bye.
Yeah, that gets hard. That gets really hard. Literally, anybody who's ever dated someone who's got a job that takes them away a lot, you need to be a very special kind of person to have that level of patience.
Come on, don't do this to me.
Aww.
You've done this 100 times.
Yeah, but PTSD now, bro. You almost died.
You're gonna go in there and tear off every one of his tentacles and shove them up however many asses he has.
Is that the way to defeat him? Is that the only way to defeat him? Listen, I'm not mad at him. Getting back in the saddle is very important after a traumatic event.
Dirt and hurt Octobus.
No.
Wait, what?
Now am paying you here.
What? I mean, I'm not going to be mad at him. I mean, people have different levels of speaking ability.
Octobus did much time learn your language.
Right? Let's put respect.
I'm sure you're very busy, and I respect that you took the time to learn my language.
Thank you. Uh-oh. Damn. Oh, Rex, be careful. You barely recovered, bro.
Am ass kicked.
I'm using that line. Who am ass kicked now?
Stop those idiots. I've got Davy Jones covered.
Davy Jones. Good reference.
Dude, please. I need this.
Okay. Uh-oh, not you out of explosion rockets things. What are these, glow sticks? Oh, right, I forgot he has a new hand. Okay, that's like Spider-Man with a little pizzazz. That looks like it hurt. Well done, Rex.
Next time, open with that.
Yeah, I would say so.
Thought I needed to get back on the horse. It was either that or retire and open a bar someplace hot.
I would have taken option B personally, but you know, you're young. Do your thing.
Not sure many other people could come back from what you went through.
Not anyone
Actually,
human.
I'm not sure anyone else could come back.
Exactly. That is a Viltrumite thing right there.
I can't believe you can grow new.
I mean, that's a pretty amazing thing.
I wish I had that superpower.
We all do, sweetie. We all do. But dentists would be out of work.
Relax.
You relax. This is stupid.
Is it?
Now we can reset and...
I think she might be a little frustrated with you.
I can't fight with that thing. It's useless. There's no way.
It would stop you from needing to transform.
Yeah, I get where his heart's at, but...
Let me fix you.
Whoa, wrong words. Wrong words.
Not broken.
Damn.
And I didn't ask for your help.
I know he came from the right place, but no, she is not a solution to be solved, sir.
We're supposed to be the best there is. Best superheroes on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
You got a guy who's supposed to be a genius, but the best idea he could come up with was to make himself a new body with DNA he stole from a coworker.
I mean, could you do that?
And doesn't seem to care she's gonna be eating strained carrots before too long. Our leader's a guy who's so old, he shits dust.
Whoa!
And his boss is a suit who sacrifices all in a second to save white America.
Damn.
Heavy personal shit after he traded half his brain for a bullet. And finally, whatever the hell Shapesmith is.
He's just a Martian, bro.
Okay, first, you're bald. And here was
Hot.
We're not the best superhero team on the planet.
What about you, sir? I see that you left yourself out of that equation.
We're already 2 members down. You want to quit?
You're the one who told him to
Absolutely
take a
not.
moment, sir. He needs time.
You just saved the goddamn planet from an invasion from Mars.
I could have cost
That was
us that
Mark.
fight because I didn't trust Invincible. And then I was already broken, Cecil. Kate's death just finished me off.
Oh, damn.
Where are you even going?
That's up to him, isn't it? It bothers me that Cecil just forgets that these are still humans. I know that he doesn't think like one anymore, but
Was over?
like I said, that PTSD, it's real.
You don't know. No one does.
Actually,
Every time I close
there is one person.
I don't know what's worse. D.A. Sinclair taking me apart or those doctors putting me back together.
Oh my gosh, I never thought about the double trauma.
No, Donald, you cannot resign.
Oh my
Jesus,
God.
Is there something in the water today?
Yeah, well.
You erased my memories.
That wasn't my decision.
Oh.
Full authorization. Not like that password of mine you thought you knew.
Oh, I had a feeling Cecil would never be quite that careless.
Hurry!
How many times? I've been saying this. I don't think this is the first time Donald's been brought back, guys. Yeah, multiple times. Or multiple Donalds. Or maybe both. Wow. It's like watching your very own day. What's that Tom Cruise movie where he dies over and over and over again? Day After Tomorrow or something?
What if it doesn't work?
Then
It
we'll
will.
figure it out. Together.
Mr. Grayson, the dean will see you now.
Put on the puppy eyes, Mark. Put on the puppy eyes. Mr. Winslow.
Principal Winslow?
It's Dean Winslow now, Mark.
Put some respect on it.
If it's college, then commit to that. If it's not, then commit to something else. But make a decision.
Unfortunately, Mr. Winslow is right.
I chose to have my memories erased.
No one's supposed to carry that much trauma.
Yeah, you'd be insane by now, bro.
You're doing a great job, Debbie.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for the lift, Paul.
Again.
See you tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Any more gifts, Paul?
Debbie?
I was wondering if you'd like to have dinner with me.
You weren't picking up on that yet, Debs?
Not tonight. I'm stupid. We work together. I'm sorry.
Go on a date.
Thursday.
Exactly. Doesn't have to become something, but I think you need to get your dating muscles flexing again, Debs. You're too young to end at Nolan.
He picks up things quicker than any child I've ever worked with.
That'd be the Viltrumite. Or maybe the Thraxan. We know nothing about them.
Powers? No, not yet.
Whew.
And there's no guarantee that he'll even get them, but if
He will.
I'd say they'll come earlier than they did with Mark.
Because he grows faster.
How's school? How's Amber?
Both of those things not going so great.
When you and Dad first met, you dated.
I was about to say, his mom is the best person for both of them to talk to about this, actually.
He brought me a tree once instead of flowers.
Wow, is that what they do on their planet?
I was lonely. A lot. When you came along, I thought that would help.
Not the same.
And I love you, but it's not the same.
Yeah, different type of relationship entirely.
Is it really a relationship if you're mostly alone?
Retrospect, huh?
Do you ever wish you'd
Never
met Dad?
Of course not, because then she wouldn't have had you.
No, because I wouldn't have you.
Or Oliver, exactly.
Or Oliver.
What if you didn't have us?
That's not something she could possibly imagine at this point. That's such a real thing a lot of people always think, kids always think at times.
Oh no.
Can we wipe his memory? Maybe we have to. Damn, people could have been down there, bro.
Please don't come any closer.
Of course, I won't.
But let me tell you that I actually know what you're going through 10 times more than you do.
I know how you're feeling.
Quite literally.
No, you don't.
No, he does.
How could you?
Come down here and I'll talk to you about it. Oh, God!
Did he get you too?
No. So many other things. Sir, people could be down there.
I think I'm about 98% machine.
How can you live with that?
Because I don't remember.
We're not our bodies. We're the decisions we make.
You better
Why
preach.
does it change the people we love.
Amen. Amen.
I don't need to forget that.
Exactly.
And neither do you.
But you do need therapy. A lot. So much. Okay, let's step away from the ledge, please. Just back it up, buddy. There you go, buddy. But seriously, Donald, therapy. Both of you. Immediate. Constant.
And I made a deal with Cecil to guarantee me 2 nights a week off going forward.
I think that's just healthy.
Well, that's definitely not ethical.
But are you a Kardashian? Does it matter?
Maybe I'm cool with that.
Here we go. Yes, the fun part of dating a superhero. Pastime. Good thing she's not scared of heights. I would be pissing myself. I'd be like, no, sir. A little lower to the ground, please. The only thing about this, bro, is that if you're trying to maintain a secret identity, you're doing a terrible job right now. You gotta admit, that's gotta be a top 10 for dates. That's gotta be a top 10 for dates. I'm glad we got that. Even if they don't last, these two deserved a fun date.
I should ask Cecil for a salary.
You should, actually. I thought you were getting paid already. You should.
Maybe I can get a part-time job instead?
I don't think you have time for any of that.
Mark Grayson. Invincible. Come with me now, or this woman dies.
Can they have a freaking night?
Did you hear me? Mark?
She's a Viltrumite.
And if you think you can cross the space between us before I tear this woman's head from her body.
Not likely.
Be quick. Otherwise, I will return here and everyone dies.
Got it. Whatever. Get lost. Yeah, that's trauma. And now he has to leave her. Jesus, this show sucks.
Come back.
He better.
I said I only wished to speak.
That hasn't been my experience with Viltrumite so far.
Right? Actually, they tried to kill me and my dad.
We cannot let this become another Chicago, people. Get me everything that you can on her.
Which would be what?
We're doing everything we can in case this turns ugly, Mark. But we don't have a lot of good options.
Right, I was about to say, there's not much you can do.
18% chance of surviving the next 2 centuries without the loss of
Well, you
billions.
know, that's just what we're gonna have to live with, huh?
We have the technology to repair their climate.
While enslaving
feed
them.
their hungry, punish their criminals.
While enslaving them.
At least I don't kill.
Yet you let thousands die.
Letting
every
people
day
die is
you
not the same as
resist
taking
Viltrum
life, ma'am. They're not remotely the same.
How many of my new reanimator are ready for the field right now?
The field? I don't.
They will be ripped apart in seconds, sis.
Satellites are picking up a behemoth-class kaiju. South Pacific. Closing fast on a passenger cruise liner.
Shit.
Really? The time? Okay, Guardians.
There's a cruise ship about to get eaten a few thousand miles southwest.
Yeah, prove it. Walk the walk, sister.
I will accompany you. I wish to see how strong the son of Nolan is.
Y'all have such a hard-on for Nolan. Why don't you go and talk to him and leave his kid out of it, please? God, that man is such a menace. The sins of the father, indeed. There's whole kaiju in this world, and y'all are dumb enough to be going on cruises. You deserve this. You deserve it.
Wait here.
I think she can help, Mark. Oh, the baby. Let's see if she intervenes. Oh, I hope y'all can swim. Well, too late for you guys, maybe. And honestly, she shouldn't be judging Mark because Mark is half human and he's a baby in Viltrumite age, so... Oh, God. That's what I was wondering why Mark didn't do that. Listen, when Viltrumites do what they need to do, it's kind of cool. Not gonna lie. Well, everybody, we're taking an unexpected stop on this cruise. Please feel free to enjoy the sand and the sand.
You and the others listening to us are welcome.
Yeah, she definitely heard him.
All these humans would have died if I was not here.
Maybe.
Occupation would make events like this a thing of the past.
But we'd also be
Be your father's son.
That was the wrong answer. That was the wrong thing to say.
Maybe we mess things up a lot, but we need to make our own decisions.
Yes. The same way y'all are.
I think you should go now.
Careful, Mark. She's a lot stronger than you.
Yeah. He's like, well, I got beaten to death by my dad, so. God damn. Into the stratosphere. God damn. Yeah, remember getting beaten up by your dad? This is gonna be about like that. Wow, all the way to the Sea Kingdom. Y'all just look away. Haven't you had enough action for today? You gotta give Mark props. He doesn't give up easily.
You dare interrupt your education?
I was never a good student.
He's not lying about that. Not skipping you like a stone, bitch. Oh. People, why are you standing and watching? Run!
She moves too fast.
Exactly.
Quicker than Nolan, even.
Oh, she's older than Nolan?
One goddamn Viltrumite all by our lonesome and we're fucking useless.
Yeah, didn't Nolan kind of teach you that?
Another option.
Oh, right, the sound. But it's gonna hurt Mark.
You can't beat her, kid. Say it. Get her to leave and we'll get ready for these assholes together.
He's not.
No.
That's Nolan's kid. That's the most Nolan thing he's done. Thank you, y'all finally running. Mark does like to take a beating, doesn't he?
This is your last chance to show me you can learn.
It's not happening.
Do it.
Exactly. You can't afford to lose
Either
him.
you need me,
Or you don't.
or you don't.
Exactly. You're not gonna kill him, because you can't. Watch that be Mark's grandma.
Killing you is not my task.
That's what I thought.
He will demonstrate the error of your ways, and this whole planet will pay the price.
Then what's the point?
I pray you come to your senses before then.
All right, bye, bowl cut. Good for you, Mark. Good for you.
Well, thank fucking God.
Hey, man. No, but Mark, he got some vital information out of that. The fact that he didn't buckle proved they need him.
You really rolled the dice on that one, Mark. All over a few words.
It's more than just words.
It absolutely is.
But those nights off you wanted, I'm afraid that's a thing of the past.
No, it's not. Amber needs therapy. Although she might want to break up with you now, and unfortunately I'd have to understand. This is what's rough. Like, until they figure something out, anyone who's around Mark is going to be in danger. Anyone.
But my life matters too. Maybe it's small, maybe it's not earth-shattering, but it matters.
I don't think Mark ever said it didn't,
It
but
doesn't
I
matter when I'm
understand.
with you.
Oh.
Worse than that, it's a weapon someone can use against you like that woman did.
Yeah, that is a reality of dating someone like this.
He'd always tell her everything was going to be fine. But he was lying. Every time.
Yeah.
And he knew it.
If Viltrumites ever showed up, they could have killed both of them.
This isn't going to change, is it?
Not for a while.
So how does this work, Mara?
I don't know, kids. This isn't an easy one. Guess we take a break. Forever. Well, thanks, Amber. I liked you a lot, but I have a feeling we're not going to see you after this. Bring on Adam Eve or whatever.
Hello, Mark.
What?
When are you coming home?
God, this kid can't get a break. You're kidding me. Is that it? Oh, no, there's more.
Well?
I failed.
I see.
Just like you.
He is poisoned, just like his father.
They've got that gene. Bro, you're really that distracted? This is why you don't fly and text. Space, space, space.
Last time that hurt a lot more.
Don't get cocky. Oh, Alan, you're getting hot. Yeah, you're bleeding.
No Unopin is that strong.
You sure?
Guess your research is out of date.
Yeah, I'm like, don't get cocky.
Our prison scientists will cut you open until we find the source of your strength.
Want to take me to prison with those punches?
And Nissa, he's faster than her too.
Foolish Unopin.
I think he's faking. What are you? He's gonna find Nolan. He's the one who's gonna find Nolan. Okay. That's a happier part of the episode. We like that. Progress at least on one of the fronts. Okay, well, that was an interesting episode. A lot going down. I'll talk about kind of the shortest part of the episode with William and his man. As I mentioned a couple episodes ago, the PTSD was not going to go away. It was something that it seems like Cecil and his group just either don't understand or don't care to understand that humans, we have trauma, that when we have trauma and it's not dealt with, it doesn't just go away. We can't just push it down, ignore it, stick it in a box. Like, that will only work for a certain amount of time, but inevitably and eventually it will come out in ways that are often very harmful to us. And especially the level of trauma that the people who've been part of his organization have gone through. Donald, and I keep forgetting the name of that guy, but especially for him to be literally cut apart and experimented on while feeling every moment of it and then being put back together and remembering all that. That's just, none of us even can begin to understand how painful that would be. And Cecil just thinking that giving him a body back was going to be like, oh, we gave you your life back. Okay, bye. No, like, I mean, maybe, I don't know. Maybe they did offer this man some type of psychiatric help. But again, who do you even talk to? Like, what therapist even handles disassembly and reassembly of a human, right? It's just, it doesn't exist yet. But you know who would actually be really good at that potentially if he gets his stuff together is the Immortal, because that's someone who understands what it is to go through multiple gruesome deaths and come back from it. But we saw that Donald discovered in this episode that he is, and I speculated on this a couple episodes ago, that there's been multiple Donalds. I thought maybe there was like a closet full of them, but I guess when you think about the exoskeleton, I guess there really are a closet full of Donalds somewhere. But yeah, we learned that he has died a lot, and this is not the one what we just saw last season was not his first rodeo. And so he's apparently had his memory erased each time because he didn't want to have to deal with the trauma that came after. But now he's recognizing that maybe that isn't the best thing, that maybe he should just face these demons and deal with it and see what wisdom or he can glean and also impart about that. Because we see that he was able to talk William's boyfriend off the ledge, literally, by letting him know that he's not the only person who's been through it. And he was able to frame the reasons why he should push through this extraordinarily hard part of his recovery, because what's really important are the people that love him and the good that happened from the sacrifice he made, etc., etc., etc. So I think that speech was not, it wasn't just for that young man. It was for Donald as well to hear for himself. So he's saying that he doesn't want to go through the erasure anymore. He's going to start trying to deal with his trauma. And as I said, I think it's going to be invaluable to people like William's boyfriend, like the Immortal, who that dovetails right into. The Immortal is taking a sabbatical, which I think we all know he absolutely needs. He really still hasn't gotten over his death by Nolan. And I think that even though he has died multiple times before, I think this one hits different because it sounds like this may be the only time he was killed by someone that he trusts implicitly. So, you know, that hurts deep. Like, I think the trauma for him on that death is more about the betrayal than about the death itself. And he's still processing that. We see that, like the way he attacked Alan last episode was 1,000% his trauma around being hurt like that, being blindsided, and him not wanting to experience something like that again. Like the fact that he assumed that, oh, you were sent by Nolan. Where is Nolan? Like, he wants an explanation. He wants to believe that Nolan really didn't pull the wool over his eyes so thoroughly after knowing him for as long as he did. And that happens in real life. If you've ever been betrayed by somebody who really meant a lot to you, it's not even just the betrayal that hurts, but you also start to question whether or not you had good judgment in the first place, right? You start to ask yourself like, wow, was I really just that blind? Did I miss all the signs? Like, am I that gullible? Was that there and I missed it? You know, it really can mess with your head. And when you just can't recognize that if someone who you've chosen to give trust to chooses to break it and all the more so hurt you with it, that's on them. That's not on you, right? Like that's never on the person who's used that way. But it takes a lot to get there. And initially there's a lot of emotion that goes along with that. And we see that that's what the Immortal is dealing with. And then of course, right after that happening, he finally finds someone he can start to trauma bond with and duplicate. And then she's taken away very viscerally as well. So yeah, he needs some time. As he told Cecil, he needs to take some time and figure out what's important and get his head on straight so he does not accidentally hurt someone or cause a bigger ripple effect of damage because he's not dealing with his own internal damage. So for now, he's on as Cecil said, an extended vacation. He's not allowed to quit. But I really don't think Cecil could force him to come back even if he wanted, because the Immortal doesn't really have anyone literally that he cares about anymore. So outside of that, we see that maybe Debbie might be jumping back into the dating pool. Her coworker, who I picked up on last episode or the episode before, that he's definitely trying to get in there, trying to find the right time to see if Debbie is ready to date again. And it looks like she's going to try. And I do think that's a good idea. I mean, even if Nolan does come back at some point, I don't know that they'll ever find their way back to each other. I do think they still have to resolve things. But yeah, I don't know that Debbie will ever trust him again, or if she should, for that matter. So yeah, I think it's important for her to think about an idea of a future with someone else if that's what she wants, right? I just don't think that she should throw away that option because her first marriage turned out to be horrible. So anyway, that might be happening, and her coworker seems cool. I don't think he's going to be the one, but hey, you know, we all got to start someplace. And Rex had a quick moment of trying to get back in the saddle after his incident. Understandable though, because if he sits with it for too long, he will start to develop an unhealthy fear of going back into the field. But I do think he needs to be careful. Maybe don't throw yourself at a big squid guy next time. But overall, I get what he was doing, and I think it was actually the right thing for him to do, just to get used to being back out there again when he is fully recovered and ready to do so. And was that it for all the other small things? I think so. I think that was the main thing. So other than that, a big chunk of the episode was Mark and Amber. And yeah, unfortunately, the inevitable is here. I knew it was coming. It makes me sad because I do like Mark and Amber a lot, and I still do think they're good for each other, but it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. And we see in this episode that they're still trying. I still don't think that they had that good conversation like they had with Art and Adam Eve. I think if they still had that come to Jesus, maybe things would have been better, but if it was just that. But of course, we see that there was a skill tilter in this one, a real doozy of an event that is absolutely something that will rock you to your core no matter who you are. We see that they were actually getting to a place where maybe they could have started to find a new normal, but then that bloody Viltrumite cow showed up and threatened Amber. Amber probably literally saw her life flash before her eyes. That, of course, is in of itself a very traumatic event. Anyone who's been through a near-death experience would know that. Mark's been through a couple at this point, so obviously it's not going to hit him as hard, but this is the first time Mark has had someone he cared about threatened directly because of him, right? It's never been a situation like this before. And this unfortunately set off a series of events of, really Amber having to think, can I do this? Can I really handle this? And we see that Mark talked to his mom earlier, and I said in the episode that I thought that both Mark and Amber should have talked to his mom, really, because she is the one who really understands the most of what it is to date someone who is like Mark. And she brought up some really valid points about there's a lot of exciting and fun things about being with somebody who has all these powers, but the downside is you are lonely. You are lonely all of the time. And like she said, she managed to have Mark, which definitely would have helped. But of course, a child-parent relationship is nowhere near the same as a partner relationship. So as she said, it was very difficult. And it just got to the point where she's like, I don't know now, like knowing what I know now, maybe I would have reconsidered things around whether it was the best relationship for me. And then we hear Mark say, like, does that mean you wish you had never met Dad? And of course, like, this happens with, I've heard a lot of questions, kids ask these questions, particularly if their parents don't work out or if their father turns out to be a not so nice person. But I knew she was going to say no. Like, even though she's definitely been through it emotionally because of what Nolan did, Nolan gave her Mark, and that she loves Mark to death, and she's growing to love Oliver. And Nolan may not be perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but he did give these women these children, and they love their children. And so far, their kids are pretty good eggs. So, it's not all bad. And I'm sure even her relationship with Nolan was not all bad. The good definitely outweighed the not so good. But I think the difference really between Nolan and with Mark is that when Nolan was dating her, with Nolan, he was the strongest thing on the planet. There was no one who would dare to go after Nolan's family, truly knowing how powerful he was. There was no one that could win. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's not true. I guess if someone knew who Nolan's family was and they went after his family when Nolan was not there, that would be the one chance they could take. But you get what I'm saying. It's a much different situation in that no one was coming for Nolan. No one was coming for Omni-Man. Whereas with Mark, he's not as powerful as his father was yet. And he also has this added pressure now because these Viltrumites are trying to force him into doing what he doesn't want to do. So there's added elements in Mark's situation that are very different than what happened with his mom. But at least that understanding, like, it gave Mark a good perspective on why things are hard for Amber in a way that he probably never thought of before. And I think he was definitely willing to be understanding of that. But yeah, having that near-death experience, that fright, that realization, like Amber said, that it could happen again multiple times. You don't know that you'll be able to stop it. And it's not just her, it's his mom, it's his brother. Like, this is going to be something Mark's going to have to deal with as long as he's at war with Viltrum, indefinitely at this point. So it's understandable that Amber's like, I don't know that I can live with that. I don't know that I can accept that. I don't know that I'm going to be okay with that. And as she said, at this particular moment, she wants to have a boyfriend that's around more. She wants to be able to be honest about where her boyfriend is when he's gone for weeks at a time. She wants to be able to, righteously complain about not having certain things from him that she needs, but she doesn't feel like she can do that because she knows he's legitimately gone for a good reason. It's like she feels crappy about it. And so that's all very real. And I think she articulated herself as best as she could. And she was like, it's not that I don't want to do this, I just don't know how. And she's like 18, right? I think they're both like 18 years old. So that is a lot, a really, really heavy load to handle at that age when you're still discovering who you are and what you want and what's going on with your life and with your body still, for goodness sake, than to have all this weight. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot for her. It's a lot for Mark. And I'm glad that Mark understood that, like, I can't promise you those things. I can't in good faith say that you're never going to get threatened again and that I'll be able to be there to protect you. Because today they showed, like, if that woman had decided to kill Amber, there was nothing that Mark could have done about it. So it's a real worry that he's going to have to, that's a lesson for Mark too, that if he gets close to anyone, even if it's Adam Eve, she's not invincible. She's actually quite weak compared to Mark and these Viltrumites. So she's strong, don't get me wrong, she's got a better chance than Amber for sure, but you get the point. Like, this is a real worry, a real valid fear that Mark's going to have going forward, and a risk he's going to take with anybody he decides to pull into his world going forward. So yeah, unfortunately, at this point, it's too much. And I do think they need a breather, especially Amber. She needs to process what just happened. I don't think they're getting back together just because, as I said, I know the show is definitely pushing him with Adam Eve. So it is what it is. I think that they ended it at least in a kind of nice way. Like, it was going to be sad regardless. I'm glad that they didn't make Amber out to be some unreasonable hag about it, because I know last season they definitely wrote her very edgy, very, very rough. And I'm glad that they took that off and made her much more what I expect from her, what I think she always was. And yeah, it just was a situation where unfortunately they just don't know the right answer, short of like running away, which where can you go that you can escape Viltrum? So anyway, that's what happened with those two. They are now done. And like I said, I don't see how Amber's going to fit into the equation going forward because the show didn't really give her much outside of Mark. So I love that character, like the voice actress. Love you. If I don't see you again, sis, you did the thing. You did the damn thing. But outside of that, we see that during Mark's fight with Anissa, I guess her name is, she was kept trying to break him. She was posing her cult-like logic, but thankfully Mark stood his ground and refused to give her the answer she wanted. He knew it was going to result in an ass whooping. But like I said, after being beat up by his dad, I don't think he was like, there's not much else he can do. I've been beat to death or damn near to death already. There's not much else you can do to me, ma'am. Not even then. Also, your friends on back on Thrax. Like I've had my butt whooped twice by Viltrumites. I'm not really scared of those beatings anymore. So anyways, I really love that he finally challenged her and called their bluff by saying, hey, if you don't need me, go ahead and take me out then. And she couldn't, right? Because they're not allowed to. And as I said in the episode, it needs to be exposed. And hopefully eventually Cecil will pick up on that the fact that they didn't kill Mark when she had the opportunity to do so, especially when he outright defied her, shows that they are desperate for help. They can't afford to kill any Viltrumites right now because they need every last one that could be loyal. So hopefully they picked up on that because Mark managed to force that out of her by her retreat. And yeah, at least he's standing up for himself. And I really do respect that about him. That is a very Nolan thing of his, to defy and stand in the face of what he's supposed to do when it'd be easier to give them what they want. And so, yeah, we see that Anissa went back to her ship and Krieg, whatever his name is, he is upset because he sent her there because he kind of knew that if Mark is anything like Nolan, he still is not on board. And yeah, they're both being frustrated by these Graysons. They're ticking them off, man. They're showing that they're a lot stronger than they anticipated and will, if nothing else. And then we see Alan. Alan is flying by, being distracted, and we now see that Alan is stronger, or at least as strong as an average Viltrumite, and this is huge. So whatever those scientists did on Europa, it looks like it did work. It just took a minute to kick in. So this is good. And Alan let himself be taken because I think he wants to figure out where Nolan is, right? Maybe potentially figure out if Nolan's still alive and where he might be, or just to get to a Viltrumite stronghold and do some damage. Either way, I think it's a win-win. Hopefully, though, he hasn't overestimated how strong he is and how many he can take on. But this is good. This is a good development in what was overall a pretty sad episode. So yeah, good episode. We ended, unfortunately, with the ending. Levy, he's back and he is holding Mark's family hostage. So poor Mark didn't even get a break. He just got dumped. And now he's got to go deal with yet another villain in his world. So yeah, I'm anxious to see how he's going to deal with that villain now, because God knows what Levy has up his sleeve. And I have a feeling he's got a pretty big plan because he's been gone for a minute now. So another good episode, guys. I enjoyed it a lot, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please send some love, and I will see you in the next one.